So let's kind of recap a few things that we've talked about before we get into doing more of this. Some good things to do, especially on this multiple choice. And this is good practice for any multiple choice test you take. Okay? B in your final is multiple choice. We talked about with the parabolas, there's times that you might not even have to do the whole problem, right? So read the problem, get rid of answers you know that aren't right. Now with parabolas, that could be the up and down. If you definitely know it opens up or definitely know it opens down, cancel the ones that aren't opening up and down. If it's opening up and all of the answers are opening up, then the next step. Think about some things with the parabola, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday. So, figure out how you're going to find the vertex. Once you have the vertex, pause there for a minute. Go see if all the parabolas, if it's supposed to open up and all the parabolas are opening up for the choices, see which one has the exact vertex that you have. Does that make sense? Now let's say you had these choices, and I'm just making these up. I'm not putting them on an XY axis. But let's say this one came out to 3, 4. And this one came out to 3, 4. And let's say this was 4, 3. And let's say this was negative 3, 4. And I don't know if we would make them that. But let's say we found our vertex to be 3, 4. Okay? So if you know this is definitely your vertex, you can cancel the ones that aren't. Now we're down to those last two. So what would be a good idea at that point? What would be a good idea? Which one is the correct one of these two? How would we tell? Well, think about the pattern graphing next. So it's A times 135. Okay? And let's say you have your A value is a 2, so you know the pattern graph is supposed to be 2, 6, 10. So then you look at it and say, okay, that one, right one, up one, 1, 1. So that means the A value is 1. So that's not the answer. Oh, this one, right 1, up 2. Okay, that's got to be the answer. So again, we're not even doing the entire problem. We're just thinking we have a problem presented. We have some basic skills to know how to find the vertex. We have some basic skills to understand if it opens up or down. And then we have some basic skills of pattern graphing. So we're not really going through the entire problem. Okay, and again, I'm trying to share with you a good testing strategy. Now, some of you will at some point take the ACT or the SAT, which are the college tests, which, take them. But this type of thought process can be used when taking those tests as well. Okay? So kind of a smart thing to do when you get to a question is take a quick glance at the question, have your pencil sitting down or your pen, have it sitting down, take a look at the question, think about it, saying, okay, this is going to be a parabola. Okay, I know it opens up. Oh, shoot, they all open up. Stinking stirrup. Okay? Or whatever. But the thing is, pencil down is kind of the key. Because if your pencil's down, you're paying attention to what the problem is saying, and you're not just writing things. Because a lot of times students are just writing down information, and sometimes you're writing down information that might be helpful, but it might not. And then once you're able to do it, cross off things that you think that could be, go take it a step further, cross off more that you think it could be, and then let's face it, when you're down to a 50-50 shot, that's a better shot at trying to get it correct than a 1 in 4 shot. Okay? We also talked about, when we were talking about the exponents, okay? The exponents, there's things that you should know. Like bases being multiplied you add exponents. Outside numbers, meaning the numbers that don't have an exponent, get multiplied. And that would be like one of these scenarios. This would be 12 because 3 times 4, and then x to the 14th. Now, just know that when you're doing that, we might also have this as a choice. This one's wrong. But as you are forming your developmental skills with math, which anytime you take a class, you have developmental skills towards that, just realize you know you add exponents when it's like bases. But it's real easy when you go, oh, 3 times 4 is 12. Oh, cool, 4 times 10 is 40. You're right, 4 times 10 is 40, but that's not the process. But then we talked about power to a power. And that's where you multiply the exponents. Exponents. Okay, so that would be like 3 to the 4th raised to the 10th. That becomes 3 to the 40th. Okay, I bet you I would have this as an answer as well, though. Because 4 times 10 is, or 4 plus 10 is 14. You're right, mathematically, but when you're dealing power to power, that can't be the right answer. Okay, you also know when you have the 0 exponent, we talked about this yesterday as well. The ideal question is the one that's like this. This answer becomes 1. But what happens if we have this outside? What is this answer going to be? -7. Why is it -7 and not 1? Yeah, this here does not have the exponent. Okay, so that -7 comes down, and then this whole thing right here becomes 1, so you have to recognize that. Now, please know, I will have 1 as a choice on that. Okay, so just be cautious. Realize, was what is outside raised to an exponent? If not, then it becomes a multiplier. Okay? Our next thing that we're going to get to, and we didn't have time to talk about yesterday, is when we have, oops, get that, when we have a negative exponent. Negative exponents, they want to switch location. So they want to go top to bottom, or they want to go bottom to top. Okay? Those really your only choices. Okay? So let's think about a negative exponent. So if we had 30x to the -1, what part of that problem has the negative exponent? Just the x. So the x is the only thing that needs to move. Okay? But what if we had same exact type of problem, but it looked like this? Now what's raised to the negative exponent? 30 and x. Agree? So you can do this one of two ways. You can say, oh, well, that comes here and that comes here. So that gives me 30 to the -1 and x to the -1. So they both want to move locations. So you're leaving a 1 on top. 30 goes to the bottom. X to the first goes to the bottom. So the answer to that would be this. Okay, 30x raised to the first is not wrong. I just don't have that one listed. So just realize there's a difference between them. So when things want to move locations, that's fine. What if we had a whole bunch of stuff like what 2 items need to move or more? X and Z, they both want to switch location. So these stay up on top, these both move down, and the exponent becomes an opposite sign of what it had been. Okay? And then we did something that we called tug of war. Okay, that's where things are pulling. Okay, so let's say you have 30x to the 5th over 12x to the 7th. Okay, first thing we need to do is 3 over 12 reduces to what? 1 over 4. Very good. Tug of war with the x's. Who wins, top or bottom? Bottom by how many? Done. And honestly, it's that simple. I think a lot of you are doing really well with that. But here's where tug of war becomes goofy. Let's say you had So problem with this, and I understand as your brains are developing, I could do it all in my head. Some of you might be able to. But some of you might not be able to, and this is totally okay. I'm going to underline all of the things that need to switch locations first. Okay? I'm concerned those are going to switch locations. So I'm not going to do too much in my head at once. I'm going to realize I still have 10 and 15 in the right locations. I have x to the second down here, but x to the fourth is also going to join it. I also have z to the fifth that comes down. So that one's good. Move, move. Okay, then I have y to the third still sitting up on top. I have y to the fourth that joined it. And I have z to the 10th that came up. So now I rewrote it, and we'll have room to make sure you can rewrite it. But notice, I didn't go start reducing stuff right away. I said, okay, my first move, let's take care of the negative exponents first. Now let's start reducing. So 5 goes into 10 twice, 5 goes into 15 3 times. So I know I have 2 over 3. First thing's done. Do I tug of war with the y's, or do I combine them? Tug of war with the y's, or are they combined? Combined. So how many y's are on top now? Say it. 7. How many x's are on bottom? The z is the only letter that's going to have a tug of war in this case. Do you agree with that? Tug of war with z's. Who wins, top or bottom? Top by how many? 5. There's your answer. Now, I get it. As a high school student, sometimes you feel there's shame if you have to show a little work. And there really isn't. Okay? I have a sneeze that's coming, so excuse me for a moment while it builds. Woo! Yeah. All right, so when you go through that problem, again, it's okay to jot things down. Now, I kid you not, my friends, if I went, there's times that we have district math meetings, and there's always some district person who's a math coach because they know all. Trust me, I was a math coach for the district for 3 years. I did not know all. And it always cracked me up because they wanted us to come up with, let's do the grab students. I do, and they always wanted some problem that was trickery to it because we wanted to see if we could confuse all these people who have degrees in math. I was never that guy. I was the guy that I would assign this type of problem saying, talk to me, go ahead and work this problem out, and then work it out how you would work it out in your class, and then talk to me about why you did it your way, and then why did you do it the way that you would do it for a class. Okay, this is a relatively simple problem for a math teacher, but I've seen all kinds of problems where people want to have the most obscure statistical problems in the world, and people are like, I don't get how to do it. And I always kept it simple. I was always curious. I want to know what people's verbiage is. And then once I went around the room and heard all their verbiage, I'll say, well, this is honestly how I would do it. And I will do it just like this. Meaning I've written this much out with a degree in math. Okay? And there are some teachers, and I kid you not, teachers are a weird breed. They really are. But there are some teachers, and I've dealt with this over my career. Why would you do it that way? Okay, so now you have teachers with teachers, and you have one teacher who's criticizing a teacher of doing it with some sarcastic slang. And it's like, aren't you a teacher? Would you say that to your students? It's always silly to me. So it becomes a matter of how it's presented. But honestly, if you had, one of the most ideal things that you could have for future math classes is, the 4-pack of crayons you get over there at the Chili's when you're a little kid? You know the ones I'm talking about? Throw a few crayons in your bag, and on a test, start using crayon to make it work for you. Okay? You get some teacher who says, why are they using crayons? Come talk to me. I mean, I honestly had a kid many years ago named Jacob. He found out he could use crayons in my class. He had the 64-pack of Crayolas with the built-in sharpener sitting on his desk every day. His tests, his homework, his quizzes, all were done in crayon. I thought it was fantastic. But I know there's some teachers like, it's got to always be in pencil. Pencil. Why? Because that's how it's been. Why? They can't give me the why. Did I find offense when Jacob did stuff in crayon? No, I loved it. I understood everything he was doing. I could see thought process, changing colors. And then you put a little comment, guess what color this is? Is that violet purple or purple violet? Kid you not, that's two of the colors in the 64-pack. What's the difference in color? I don't know. They're both purplish to me. So, yeah. Yeah, it made it to you guys?
Yeah,
Scott Swanee?
Yeah.
I love that kid. Yeah, it's coming around. I did it for both my senior classes. When you're seniors, I'll do it for you too. Or you can just enjoy it was it on social media or just a video? Yeah, there you go. Is there any comments to it? Can you see comments to it? Snapchat doesn't have comments? Like, what an idiot. Not too bad for a 51-year-old, huh? Now I had to take 6,000 milligrams of ibuprofen to ward off the pain, but hey, I'll be all right. I'm kidding.
What did you do?
I did the worm. Share it to whoever, or do you still have it? You can show it. Here, do this. Oh, you don't have it on yours. I was going to say I was going to do screen share, but you don't have screen share on your thing. You're right here. So that's my senior gift. You don't get it yet. All right, so friends, we have tried a bunch of these problems. So let's see, problems that we have not tried yet. I'm pretty sure we did 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is that correct? Are those done on your worksheet? Okay. And I believe we did 5 and 7 and 8. Is that correct? So that means number 6 is one that we need to focus on. We did number 9 already. We did number 10. Is that right? But I don't think I did 11. So 11 is one I want you to work on. Did we do 12? No? Okay. So 12 is one you need to work on. Did I do 13? I don't think I did 13 yet. 14, I don't think we did. 15, I don't think we did. 16, I don't think we did. 17 might be one that we still need, as well as 18 and 19 and 20. Try those. Why don't you take, what time are we out of here? 11? Why don't you take about 6 minutes? So we'll come back at 10:45. 10:45, I will work these out. What's that? Do the circle ones, please. Yeah. Problem number 6. What moves? Yeah, this is the only part that moves, right? So I get that. Done. Number 11. No negative exponents, so we can start reducing. 4 goes in itself once, goes in there twice. So I get a 2 on top. Tug of war with the x's. Who wins, top or bottom? Bottom by how many? 2. All right, number 12, where things get confusing. Let's move the negative exponent first. I'm just going to put that over 1. Is that okay? All right. Friends, why did the negative 4 not move? Why did the negative 4 not move? It's not a negative exponent, right? Okay, so a little bit. All right, so now we can start reducing. So negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. Cool. How many x's does it appear we have up on top? I have 5 on the left side, and how many on the right side? I have 5 and 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. Tug of war with the y's. Who wins, top or bottom? Tug of war with the y's. Who wins? Bottom by how many? 1. There you go. Problem 13. What moves? X and Y. Done. Pretty simplistic. Take your time on them. Don't stress. Whoops, went too far. Problem 14. What moves? X just joins the 4. Done. Okay, you don't have to put it over 1. 15, I have some negative exponents, so I'm going to rewrite it with no negative exponents. Okay, so the things that moved, this moved and this moved. This came down here. This came up here. Okay, it's no longer tug of war, so what we want to do is let's go ahead and reduce. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 4 goes into 16 4 times. So I get 3 over 4. There's no tug of war on this one. So I just combine. How many y's do I have on top then? 7. How many x's do I have on bottom? 11. Done. So be patient with it. Take your time. Bless you. Can I go to 16? 16, we can go ahead. Oops, we don't have any negative exponents. I want you down here. 1, that's 2. So I got 1 over 2. Tug of war with the x's. Who wins, top or bottom? Top by how many? 3. Tug of war with y's. Who wins, top or bottom? By how many? Okay. We don't necessarily need to have that 1 right there anymore because there's the x to the third on top. If you keep the 1 there, it's fine. With the multiple choice, I would have this answer. So realize 1x squared and x squared, or 1x to the third and x to the third are the same thing. Number 17, I have negative exponents, so I'm going to rewrite the problem. Getting rid of, just moving the exponents. So y to the 5th moves up. I have this up. This one's written down right, yep. Y to the 3rd. All right, so now I don't have negative exponents. So 2 goes into itself once, goes into 16 8 times. So I get 1 over 8. Tug of war with the x's, who wins? They cancel, it's a tie. Tug of war with the y's, who wins? Top by how many? 2. Okay, so you can keep it like that, but realize the answer I'll have, I won't have a 1 up on top. Three left, and we'll be done for today. All right, number 18 has a few things that need to move, but then we have y to the 0. What is y to the 0? 1. So I'm going to, oh, jeez, come on. So I have, oh, come on, stay down here. No, I didn't want to stay here. So 25 stays on top for now, 5 on bottom. X stays on top. X to the 2nd joins it because it's going to move up. Y to the 1st, or y to the 0 is just 1. Z to the 9th is going to move up. Y to the 4th stays down below. Z to the 4th joined it. So these both moved. All right, so let's reduce it. 5 goes in itself once, goes in 25 5 times. Combining, how many x's do I have up on top? This is x to the 1st, right? So how many x's are there? 3. No tug of war with y's because I just have y to the 4th on bottom. Tug of war with the z's, who wins, top or bottom? Top by how many? 5. There's our answer. What did I do? Love it. All right, let's rewrite this, not having negative exponents. So 4y squared over x squared times 2 over x, y to the 6th. Okay, let's start combining things. 2 and 4 gives me 8. How many y's on top? 2. How many on bottom? Who wins? Bottom by how many? And what do I do with the x's? No, that's x. Combine them, right? Done. Last problem of the day. We good? All right. Ooh. Let's take care of this grouping stuff first. So that's going to come there. So that's going to give me 4. That's going to come there. That's going to give me x to the 4th because we're multiplying them. That's going to give me y to the negative 6. Is that okay? Rewriting the bottom. Y to the 0. It's just 1. Okay, so I still have negative exponents there. That's okay. So let's rewrite no longer having negative exponents. So I have 4 over 6. X to the 4th, x to the 2nd, y to the 6th, z to the 4th. Reduce. 2 goes in there, 2 goes in there. So I get 2 over 3. Combine the x's. Z stays up there. Y stays down there. And that, my friends, is all I have for you for today. Sorry I don't have homework. Will you bring this sheet back tomorrow so we can finish the scientific notation? Darn, still gave us no homework.